Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Joe Two in Love. Here with another edition of Sports Review Topics. Thank you for joining me. Today, got quite a bit to talk about on the podcast today with week 15 of the NFL regular season. Got some good, crazy games happened this past weekend. Go over them all. Give obviously thoughts on every game as well as this weekend. The games for this weekend, Christmas Eve and Christmas. Happy holidays, early Merry Christmas, as it's going to be different also for NFL fans because the usual, excuse me, the usual big slate of games is on Sunday, but due to Christmas being on Sunday, the big slate games will be on Saturday, Christmas Eve, with 3 games on Sunday. So that's going to be a little different, but fun. Preview all those games. Talk about Knicks, Devin Booker, etc. But first and foremost, bit of strange. Now I'll also talk about some playoff clinching scenarios as well for this weekend. But first and foremost, because the news came out of the blue this morning, and sad, but gotta go over it. Franco Harris. So Christmas Eve night, Steelers Raiders is the 50-year anniversary game of the Immaculate Reception, which, of course, Franco Harris really orchestrated that great out of left field play that has been played for years and years and years and will still be replayed for years and years to come. That play in the 70s when the Steelers played the Raiders in the playoffs and all that whole funky play that had the Steelers winning and advancing in the postseason. I mean, just one of those. I mean, it's called the Immaculate Reception for a reason. Can't really know what to say. But Franco Harris passed away today at the age of 72. You know, had a hell of a career, hell of a run. You know, 7 1,000-yard seasons in his 13-year career. He played 12 seasons with the Steelers played his last season with the Seahawks. I mean, Franco, a great illustrator of that dynasty for the Steelers in the 70s. Yep. Four-time Super Bowl champion with Steelers with Joe Green. I mean, Terry Bradshaw, Lynn Swan, all those. So guys that, you know, I did not know about before got into football, but now that I've been well versed in the football and watching it and give my time on it, that how how illustrated they were in building really the Steelers and how that team laid its foundation for years later. And Franco was one of those big illustrators for the Steelers in their prime run in the 70s. So, and the timing of it is bizarre because, like I said, the Immaculate Reception anniversary game on Saturday night, and Franco, sadly, a couple days prior, fortunately no longer with us. So, thoughts and condolences with Franco Harris, his family, and all those affected by him, his friends, his former teammates, just everyone affected by his passing. But yeah. Now, getting from that, NFL Week 15. NFL Week 15 was a bizarre and had some bizarre series of finishes. I mean, and some really fun games at the end of it. I mean, of course, but as we get closer to playoffs, these games get more nitpicky and get more dicey and get more just significant and how things go and their impact and who moves on and who stays home after the season. But yeah, some really fun games at the end of it. But starting with, it was still a good week of picks though. 12-4. Still have not cracked over 12 this season, but I still have 3 more weeks to do so. So hopefully starting this week I can get over 13 or at least 13. But speaking of 13, the Seahawks failed to capture really momentum versus the 49ers, the rivals at home, as they lost 21-13 in Seattle. You know, Brock Purdy, again, not a great day, but not really needed. Sear the ship, coming in less than 100%. The defense has been outstanding as they roll to 10-4. You know, and the Seahawks were 1-6-4, and it seemed like they were on a roll to potentially win the division. And now they lost 3 out of the last 4, and they have been one of the best stories of the season, but now their playoff hopes are quickly in jeopardy. The Vikings, we had the largest comeback in NFL history. Largest comeback in NFL history. As the Vikings ride back from being down 33-0 at half to come back all the way, tie up at 36 apiece at regulation, and win it 39-36 in overtime, being the Colts. I don't know what to say. I won't. Kirk Cousins, really is having a career year. And, when everything went wrong in the first half, blocked punt for a touchdown, a pick six, a, going for on fourth down twice, and not getting it in your own territory. Dalvin Cook fumbles. I mean, just an ugly first half, but the Vikings chipped away, and they didn't get overly aggressive. There was that one play at near the end when Jalen Reagor, it was 36-21. Vikings just had a good pass play, and then Kirk Cousins went for a bomb in the corner in front of the end zone to Jalen Reagor right after Justin Jefferson left the game again. But Jalen Reagor stops on the route, and it's an easy pick for the Colts. But besides that, in the second half, they were pretty much near flawless in the second half on offense. And I mean, Vikings stay afloat for the second seed and still have a bit of a chance. A bit of a chance. A slim chance. But still a chance at getting the 1 seed in the NFC. But great confidence for the Vikings. Left 3 points. Only 3 points in the second half. Good for the defense as well. Good for Deshaun Watson as well. And the Browns. They won 13-3 over a Lamar Jackson-less Baltimore Ravens, but the Ravens had their chances still, and a strange Justin Tucker miss inside 50 yards and a blocked field goal, along with 2 missed field goals by the Browns. But Browns get it done. Deshaun Watson looked better. That's the thing they want to see for the Browns. And if you're a Browns fan, you want to see him progress. You want to see him get better over 2 games before he can be back into that actual Deshaun Watson mode. But he looked better. He made some nice throws. Had a touchdown this game. And go for the Browns as Deshaun Watson now 2-1 as a starter for the Browns. And a great way to cap off the 3-game slate on Saturday. The Bills beat the Dolphins 32-29 at the end of regulation. I mean, of course, people were disappointed because a foot of snow or so was advertised before the game. And there was a lot of snow prior to the game, and the crew of the NFL and the Bills did a hell of a job clearing the field. They didn't clear the stands, as there were so a lot of snow in the stands. But by the end of it, there was certainly plenty of snow falling down at the end of regulation. You kind of hope it went to overtime just to see how it would look in the game, but nonetheless, Bills won in a back and forth affair. Deshaun Watson played, or sewing up on the Browns. Tua played well. 2 touchdowns down the stretch. Dolphins ran the ball well. They probably should have ran it more, but Josh Allen, when he needed to, stepped up, and Bills have now clinched a playoff berth and are 1 win away from clinching their 3rd straight division title under Sean McDermott. It was not a pretty debut for Desmond Ritter, but Saints won 21-18. You know, I'm still when I get to when we get through this season and I look at the Saints record, whatever their record is, I'm gonna look at it and say, why didn't you use Taysom Hill more? Really, why? And I mean, we saw him throw a dart of a touchdown to Rashid Shaheed, or Rashid, sorry for his name, but nonetheless, it was zip a touchdown. Defense played well. Ritter and the Falcons did what they need to get back into it, make it a 3-point game, but Ritter had a brain fart at the end of the game, going out of bounds instead of trying to hurl it up or try to make a throw to at least get in the possible field goal range, because Young Waku has a hell of a leg, and he could probably kick it over 60 yards. So, yeah. But Saints get another win. And yeah. Steelers. Talk about Steelers again. Steelers beat the Panthers in Carolina. Keep their playoff hopes alive as they win 24-16. Trubisky played better than he did last week, or against the Ravens. We can certainly say played better. Didn't have the 3 picks. He said, of course, you knew this was going to be an ugly game based on how both teams play. But in the end, Steelers pulled out. The defense made some key stops on the offense. Sam Darnold didn't play great. Played well, but defense was really the big point for Pittsburgh in this game. And this one was close. But the Eagles beat the Bears 25-20 in Chicago. Both quarterbacks had a scare. Now, Justin Fields looked like it may have been cramps, worried about a hamstring. He was taken out the game. He made some explosive runs. But he came back in the game, threw a nice touchdown, make it a 5-point game, but Eagles offense was too much. Although Jalen Johnson did a nice job for a good point of it against A.J. Brown, but A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts had their hell of a day, and it wasn't pretty, but got it done. Same with this game. Chiefs beat the Texans 30-24 in overtime. Yeah. What can admire for being a Houston Texans fan The Texans have played two playoff teams the last 2 weeks. And have either lost in the final minute or in overtime. And it's not been going great for the Texans this year, but good for them to, once again, they cover. They cover. That's what I had them doing, but 6-point game, overtime, I'm worried about Harrison Butker. He's not been having a great couple weeks. But Texans in it. In the end, Dave Mills fumbles. And Jerick McKinnon runs in for a game-winning touchdown. That was all she wrote. One overtime on Sunday to another. Jaguars beat the Cowboys 40-34 in overtime. It was 27-10 Cowboys, but Trevor Lawrence and the Jags rallied back. Trevor Lawrence did fumble at the end of the game, but fortunately for Jaguars, they got back, were able to tie it, and then a tip pick 6 for Rayshon Jenkins ends it in overtime. Great for them. Lions have been making a strong case. They won 2017 over the Jets. They won 6 out of the last 7. And right now they're 7-7. If they win out, there's a clear-cut path for them in the playoffs. Crazy. Remember earlier in the year or the season where I had pegged them as a possible playoff team? Well, now they got a chance. This was crapshoot. Broncos being Cardinals 24-15, but great for J.J. Watt. 3 sacks. To me, he definitely still has it. And the fact that he could get another double-digit sack season still is heartwarming and great to see. It's going to be also hard to describe this game as the Raiders beat the Patriots 30-24 on the last play of the game. Raiders were up 17-3 and a pick six. Big run by Ramondre Stevenson, and Patriots tied up. And they got another touchdown to reach ahead. A controversial, to say the least, long touchdown to Keelan Cole, tied up for the Raiders. And then Jacoby Myers laterals it in Chandler Jones' hands and runs it back for a TD, and they won it 30-24. Raiders are still alive as well. I'll say that. Same with Chargers as they win 17-14 over the Titans. Sluggish game, pretty much. But I mean, Tannehill, he got hurt, went out of the game, came back. Herbert threw 2 picks. One was great in the end zone. Kind of a ricochet volleyball like play in the end zone for a pick. Good stuff there. But yeah, Talon came back. Derrick Henry helped them drive pretty much and tied up 14-14 late. But great play, great throw by Herbert. Set them up in field goal range and they got it done. Cameron Dicker is doing a stellar job at kicking this year. And it just unraveled for the Bucks. Bengals won 34-23 as it was like 17-6. Bucks were controlling the game. Tom Brady looked well. And 5 straight times they give up the ball. And let the Bengals back into it. The Bengals just kept scoring, and they just dug a hole for themselves and not more to be said. Giants stopped the bleeding and got a much needed victory. Much needed victory. They beat the Commanders on the road 20-12. You know, it was 3-0 Commanders, and then a strip sack touchdown by Kayvon Thibodeau opened up the momentum for the Giants. They laid down to another drive to go up 14-3, and then Giants were able to play their type of football. And Heike led Commanders down, and 14-9. But then 20-12. Last play, it was a great drive. Heike came up short on a touchdown run. And then a Brian Robinson touchdown run negated with controversy. Terry McLaurin called not on the ball line of scrimmage. when he checked with the referee. Now, look, I get from both sides. I get as a player, you're supposed to know when you're offsides, but at the same time, if you're cleaning up with a referee, checking with a ref twice to see if you're on the ball. I mean, needs one throws the flag. I mean, two sides have needed a touchdown. There was a confusion about pass interference in the end zone. Giants hold on, 20-12. And then 10 went NFL Week 15. Packers won it and are still alive. Still alive. They won 24-12 against the Rams. You know, last week there was a miracle touchdown or miracle comeback by Baker and the Rams. This week we saw the deficiencies now with the Rams catch up to him. With Baker. He'll again. No Cup the rest of the season. No Van Jefferson. No Stafford. No Aaron Donald. Again. I doubt we see him for the rest of the season. Yeah. I mean, they were able to do what they were able to do. At the end, 12-4, heck of a week. Try to get 13. At least. Let's go for it. Okay. So, week 16 predictions. Starting off in key fashion on Thursday night. Jaguars going to the Meadowlands. Take on the Jets. Jets 1-point favorites at home. Could be rainy. Quinn Williams, game time decision. Zach Wilson starting for a second straight game. You know, Trevor Lawrence coming off that big heck of a game against the Cowboys, rolling back the Jags to win OT. I checked the stats of Lamar Jackson for the next game. But Jags or Jets, you know, it really sucks for the Jets because Breece Hall's injury really hindered them on offense. He really was coming into his own as a rookie. I mean, it really added a dimension for them on offense. But we saw against Detroit, it was really mostly on Wilson. And He still had a chance at the end play and the game to tie it. Wilson made some, you know, weird plays, but got him done. 2 touchdowns. I just Jack's got momentum. They're going for it. Ugly game, 21-17. Jags get the win. Falcons at Ravens. Ravens 7.5 point favorites. I guess the consensus is that Lamar Jackson will be back. Thing is, with or without, I mean, Desmond Ritter's second start against that great defense. I'm going to go 22-16. Ravens get the win over Falcons. Yeah, much needed win because they can't afford to start losing with all teams left in the AFC. Lions at Panthers. Lions 3-point favorites on the road. Again, if they win out, there's a clear-cut path